Okay. It's probably going to freeze on me again. We'll see. I gotta do something because I look exhausted. So we're going to do a quick thing here. Okay. Hey guys. Hi Tiffany. Hi Lisa. Or Liza. I always say Lisa and it's Liza. That's the only thing about my eyebrows that I can't stand is they're so uneven. They're so very different. Like my eyebrows are very different, but that's okay. Let's do gel so they stay. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Leslie. Give me just a couple seconds. I'm going to try to do this quick so that I can want my eyebrows to stay in place for the day. Okay. All right. Now here's the next step. Hold on. We're doing this in, I got 10 minutes. Okay. And I got to do something underneath my eyes because just to give it a little bit of a shading, or not shading, but brightening, because they look horrible. Okay. Watch me jab myself with this or do that. See, now I did not bring my my magnetic lashes with me today. And normally if I'm going to do this mascara, I bring those because this mascara is very thin. But I need something on today because I look way too exhausted. They say you're not supposed to pump mascara, you're supposed to just roll it because, I'm not worried about it. I don't use very often anyway, so. Oh my gosh. Because I have such sparse eyelashes, like you have to do, for me, I have to do like 20 passes on my eyelashes. You don't have to retract it. It's all good. It's always good to learn new things. But like for me, when it comes to stuff like that, I very rarely do makeup as it is. So. Yeah. But look at it this way. What difference does it make? When you think about it, you're putting it back in there either way. So swirling or pumping, it's like, it doesn't really, like, is it really that big of a difference? The only reason why the bottle is as tight as they are is so that it can pull the excess off as you pull it out of the thing. Because while it's open, it's open. It's just clear lip gloss, just to give the lips a little bit of a more glossy feeling. But there we go. I feel a little more put together. Like I said, that's the existence of my makeup bag right there. A little bit of stuff to touch up my eyebrows, just so I don't look like I ain't got none, and a little bit of mascara and some upper eyeliner. That's it. That's all I do. That's all I need to do. Still got a few more minutes, so. This stuff is so like tacky. Not the health I can't even talk. Healthiest option for breakfast, but it'll work. That's exactly what I needed today, was a nice cup of hot coffee. I'll probably end up just putting chapstick on anyway. But yeah. Anywho, guys. Work, of course, and a baby squishy update. So if you missed the start of my like driving and jamming live stream, the beginning of today, the start of the morning. Oh, no, I won't. The sandwich is nice and cooled off, and the coffee, because I added creamer and stuff to it, cooled it. But while I was driving to work, anyway, I was jamming out to music. But I did make some, like, told you guys some stuff. So if you were there for that, cool. If not, we have some updates on Baby Squishy. So Squishy, I shouldn't say even, well, yeah, for Squishy, but for the most part, Sarah felt the baby move. Not just once now, like a couple times. The first time was like a week ago, and she was like, she was like, whoa, I'm pretty sure that was the baby, when we were listening to him on the Doppler, and like he like kicked or moved or whatever it was, but she felt it, and she was just like, I think that was him. And then it was a couple days later, and the same thing happened. And then I thought at first, well, maybe it's because she can hear when he kicks really strong. So maybe that's what she was correlating, is she could hear it. So she like thought, well, maybe because I hear it. I know I saw that, Sam. And then when I was at work the other night, she called me, and she wasn't listening to using the Doppler. She chooses to have me do the Doppler for her. She always feels like she can't get like the right angle and stuff. So she always has me do it for her. So she wasn't using the Doppler, and she calls me at work, and she's like, I'm absolutely certain that I just felt him, like that he's moving. I can feel it. And I was like, really? She goes, yes, I can feel it. And then she called me again later on that same evening. She's like, okay, it's definitely the baby moving. I know that. I can tell you that it's the baby. And so, yeah, this year's gone by fast. So she definitely knows. Oh, yeah, no. You don't have to worry about that. So she was like, no, it's definitely the baby. And I was like, that is so cool. And then last night, while we were listening to Squishy, one, he loves when she laughs. When she starts laughing, he like gets really close to like her upper part of her abdominal wall and like chills out there. And so you can really hear how strong his heartbeat is. But every time she starts laughing, his heart rate goes up, and he gets really, really wiggly. And then when she stops, he kind of quiets down, almost like he's waiting for her to laugh again. And so whenever she laughs, he gets super active and his heart rate goes up. And then last night, and by the way, he can hear now. Like he can hear like internally. He's not able to pick up sounds from outside the womb just yet. So like if I was trying to talk to him or playing music or that, he's not able to quite hear that yet. But he can hear all of Sarah's inside. So he can hear the placenta and the whooshing of the heartbeat and whatnot. And when Sarah talks, the reverberation in her, he can hear all that. And so when she talks to him, he literally responds to her talking, and it's super cool. But last night while we're listening to him, we're sitting there, we got him perfect on the monitor or the Doppler, hear it perfect. It's like just thrumming away. And then he got the hiccups. And it was funny because at like the first couple were like, I was like, what is he doing? And I was listening. And then after about the fifth one, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the hiccups. And it happened for like 16 of that sound in like a row. And Sarah just started streaming tears. She was like, oh my God, my baby. But she is almost 15 weeks. So she is 14 weeks, 6 days. So yeah, 14 weeks, 6 days. 14 weeks, 5 days, because today's Saturday, right? Yeah, it's just Sunday and Monday to go to. So she's 14 weeks, 5 days. So she's got 2 more days because Tuesday she'll be 15 weeks. I am eating what do they call it? A Jimmy Dean sausage, egg, and cheese croissant that is squashed because I squashed it in my bag. All right, hold on, guys. I got to go out the store. One moment. That's what they were going to do with all the traffic today, I probably would have called my mom. Probably don't want to have this one today. Okay. Ow. Hold on, guys. All right, I need to grab bags of the gold. I need what? 3 bags of small, 4 bags of large. Give me a second. Oh, he didn't bring me what I needed. I need to get a calendar of events for the city so I can start stocking per event. I'm just going to empty this rack. This up here. Alrighty. But yeah, okay. Doors open, ready to go. But holy cow, my nose. So something I was going to talk about earlier, but let me finish talking about the baby update. So Sarah is now, like I said, she's almost 15 weeks. She's finally got like more energy. She's got her appetite finally. Her appetite is back. Still has like waves of nausea, but she's not like running to throw up all the time now. So attributing two things: that one, she's in the second trimester. Two, she is no longer taking the high doses of progesterone, which is one of the like big factors when morning sickness plays. That's why women who are pregnant with twins usually have more severe morning sickness, because of the fact that their progesterone levels are like super high. So those two things in factor with each other are the stopping progesterone at 12 weeks and going into the second trimester, which your body kind of levels out, and the placenta pretty much takes over for the baby, and then you, of course, taking care of you. But also this week, the baby can taste. So like the things that you eat, the baby can taste that in his amniotic fluid. So that's pretty cool to know. So there's that. And he's as big as a pear. So a pear fruit. So like he's good size now. Like he'll fit in your whole hand. So that's counting from his head, the top of his head, to the bottom of his butt. That's not counting his leg length. So that's just counting him. So he will fit like right in the palm of my hand, from the top of his head to his butt. So that's really cool to know. So he's getting big. And now Sarah's, because Sarah's a large girl, you guys know that. But what we've been tracking over time, like, because Sarah, we've been taking pictures. So with Sarah's stomach, because she's a big girl, the skin kind of would hang down. Well, now that she's gotten to almost 15 weeks, that area doesn't like hang down anymore. Like the growth of the baby has now pushed it so that it's up. So now she's just got like this smooth like rise to her stomach versus it just being like the skin there. So that's really a huge difference. And then when she lays flat back, you can see her bump. Now, if she was a skinny girl, like a little scrawny girl, you'd see her bump very, very clearly. But as of right now, because she's a big girl, you can't really tell unless like you know her and like you've seen how she's shaped. Then you'd be able to definitely tell the difference. But that's because we know like her, like she knows her body. I know her. I see her every day. She's always talking to me about it, showing me her tummy. And so like it's very clear to us like that we can see the changes. And I think that's what's important. It's not what's important. Like, it's not important that other people see those changes. It's like for her to see those changes in her body. Not only that, but she lost quite a bit of weight from all the throwing up and everything through the first trimester. I think altogether she's lost just shy of being 16 pounds. Like that's a big chunk of weight to lose at the start of your pregnancy. She ain't complaining now, of course. But Monday, we get to see Squishy and confirm that there's a boy in there. I'm pretty sure it is a boy. So yeah. And but the other thing I was trying to talk about earlier, but for some reason T-Mobile is so crappy. Yeah, I was like that with Taylor. I was sick my whole freaking pregnancy. Like the whole pregnancy. From the time he implanted till the time he came out of me, I was sick. Like sick. Now, I don't know if you watch Colleen Ballinger or Miranda Sings, but Colleen Ballinger, because her Miranda channel is a whole different thing. But if you've ever watched Colleen, she did some vlogging during her pregnancy with Flynn because she was traveling and she was doing touring and all that. But she was miserable, like to the point where she was like, I'm never getting pregnant again. She had not intended to get pregnant again. And then when she did not intentionally get pregnant and they lost that baby, she realized just how much she wanted another one, no matter the cost to her, to how she feels. And so with the twins, she feels like pretty much just as bad as she did with Flynn. But this time around, she had the doctors who listened to her. There was things that they could do for her, like the IV treatments and keeping her hydrated, which plays a huge role in how you feel. And if you're nauseous, to where because you're nauseous, you don't want to eat, which in turn, it's like a catch 22. If you don't eat, you're going to get more nauseous. And if the more nauseous you get, the more you don't want to eat, which then in turn makes you more nauseous, which then in turn makes you start throwing up and dry heaving. So keeping something constantly in your tummy, giving your body something to work with, brings nausea down. Yeah, she's pregnant with twins, and a little boy and a little girl. And so for her, like, she explains like just how bad it was. Like, this time around, I mean, she's already like near the end, right? I think for me, I think she's going to have them by 34 weeks. I know that that's early, but like they say with twins, getting to 32 weeks is a huge thing, and she's already 31 weeks. I think she'll make it to like 34. If she makes it to 36, I have no idea how she's going to manage that. She is so painfully round. I am in awe of this woman. Okay. Like, absolutely in complete awe of this woman. One, she's long surpassed what she was with Flynn. And even when she was pregnant with Flynn, I just thought that looks so painful. I'm like, this woman is a freaking warrior with how stretched her skin looked when she was pregnant with Flynn. And she's even like bigger than that now than she was with Flynn. And I just keep thinking, how is she still growing them in? Like, her body is amazing. Okay. Women's bodies are amazing. To 5 kittens outside. They're so cute. They're walking. So I think they're 4 weeks old and their eyes are open. Yeah. If their bellies are up off the ground, they're at least 4 weeks old. If they're like just walking around, that means mama has brought them out. Just don't mess with them. Let mama take care of them. She knows where they are. They know where mama is. Like, just let them do their thing. Yeah. See, and you got to make sure you're eating and keeping stuff in there so your body doesn't start getting exhausted. But yeah, I'm just in, like, I am like one of those things where I'm just like, my mind is blown away by how amazing she is doing through this pregnancy. Like, blown away because of the fact that, like, I look at her and I'm just thinking she's still got a few more weeks left to go. She's 31 weeks, technically 9 weeks still. She had Flynn early. She had Flynn at like 36 weeks. So she had him like a month early. So I'm pretty sure with that kind of history, especially if she had her first baby early, she's more than likely going to have the twins on the earlier side. So yeah, I know, me too, Tiffany, right? Like, but yeah, I think Colleen's going to have them on the earlier side. I'm hoping she makes it past Thanksgiving, but I don't know. There's something in me that keeps saying she's going to have them before Thanksgiving, which is the 25th of November. They're not due till like December 27th, I think is what she said. And so I think she's going to end up having them before Christmas. I mean, before Thanksgiving. But like, I don't know. Like, I'm not no professional. I'm not no psychic or anything. It's just kind of one of those things where I have a feeling, like this gut feeling that I think she's going to have them before Thanksgiving. I hope I get proven wrong, because the longer they're in there, the better for them. So yeah, I'm really hoping I'm wrong, but I just have this feeling she's going to have them before Thanksgiving. Because Flynn's birthday is like December 10th. If I remember correctly, December 10th, because I know she had him before Christmas and she was in awe that she was going to get to have Christmas with her baby by her side. But so yeah, but the other thing I was talking about earlier, my niece's nephew's birthday is December 28th. Nice. So something I was talking about earlier. Now, as you know, I love Twilight, right? I love the books, I should say. The Twilight Saga. I love the books. Movies, you know, I love the actors. I love the people that portrayed the roles. I love Nikki Reed, don't get me wrong, but I still think they should have picked a different person to play Rosalie. But I still love Nikki Reed. I've seen Nikki Reed in other things, and I absolutely loved her. She had a movie called like 13 or something like that. Such a good movie. I know you're December 9th. That's so fun to be able to have your baby just before Christmas and to get to have this beautiful little bundle right before the holidays. Oh my gosh. But yeah. So I've read, as you guys know, I've read the Twilight Saga. I can't even count anymore how many times. Like, I know those books like the back of my hand. And then she came out with a book called The Host. And it took me quite a few tries to get started on that book. Like, I remember when I first read the first Twilight book. Sorry. Because it was a gift given to me. So I hadn't even, like, I'd never even thought to buy the books myself. The first Twilight book was a gift given to me by someone who knew that I loved to read. And she knew that I loved Anne Rice. These are two totally different worlds, by the way. She just heard it was a vampire story, and so she bought it, not realizing, like, just how different worlds apart they are. Sorry, I am, but like, every time I eat anything with dairy and that has cheese, it gets all built up in my like throat. Oh, this is so good, you guys. So my friend bought me Twilight, the first book. And I remember I was just like, isn't this supposed to be like a YA book? If you guys don't know what that means, YA means young audience. So this means people 12, 13, 14, like in like young audience, meaning 12 years old to like 25, right? That's considered your young audience. And so I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why she bought me this. I was at the time that she bought it for me. This was in, gosh, what was it? 2000? I think it was 2008, because it was right before the first movie came out, right? I think so. Let me look here. Hold on. Let me look here. No, I don't want that. Okay. Yep. All right. And I think, if I am correct, yep, it was actually before then, because it was the new book, the new moon was coming out. And this is what happened. So she got me the Twilight book, the first Twilight book, in 2006. And it was, she'd bought it for me, and she said, I got you this. I wanted to see how you think, what you think about the book. And I was like, okay. So she bought me that, and I started to read it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is about high school kids. So I was like, no, not worried, not interested. So I put the book away, and then she calls me. She calls me, and she says, hey, the next Twilight book is coming out. New Moon is being released. And she said it was like in 2 weeks' time. Have you read the first one? And I was like, I haven't done it yet. And she goes, oh my God, you need to read it because I pre-ordered you the second book. And I was like, what are you doing? Right? Because I hadn't even said if I liked the first one yet. I said, no, you need to read it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll read the book. And so I sat back. It was literally on my day off. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to do this. Kids were, Taylor was 7, Sarah was 5. So I was like, all right, I guess that's what I'm going to do. So I sat back, and my kids love listening to me read, by the way. And so I was like, well, I'll just sit in the living room and I'll just read the book. And, and I like to read out loud. And so I sat and I read the book in between, like, taking care of the kids. So when it was time for dinner, put the book down, take care of the kids. So I got finally to chapter 5, which was painful to get to, by the way, when you've got 2 little ones running around the house. So I was just like, there's got to be something happening. Like, there's got to be more interesting things going on in this than this high school girl who's got an infatuation with the gorgeous guy that she can't put her finger on what's quite off about him. So I was like, we'll get there. Got to chapter 5, and I think that's when they get into Port Angeles. I think that's when they get ready to go to Port Angeles or whatever. This is before she is it Port Angeles at that point? Because chapter 5, chapter 5 is not with Port Angeles. I think that's when she gets her chance to really like talk with Jacob Black and whatnot. So she's kind of like just before like confronting Edward about what he is. Um, but anyway, so I get to that point and I'm like, okay, this is okay. Now I want to know what the heck. Because first of all, this girl is not like most other high school girls at this point, right? I'm realizing that she's kind of reminded me of myself from when I was a kid because I had to be the grown up from a very early age. And so I was like, I can relate. Like, I can relate. I didn't feel like I fit in with any of my peers. Like, I just was kind of from the outside looking in. And always felt like, Jesus, what is wrong with all these people? They're kind of, they're so like absorbed in like themselves and the activities they're doing and the things that make differences for them, where I was more in tune to what can I do to make sure that my siblings are okay? What can I do to make sure that when I got home that things were going to be all right? How do I keep the household peace? Like I never was thinking about like myself and like what was I going to benefit from it? It was always how do I make sure that when I get home that nobody's going to get a beating? How do I make sure that when I get home, that dinner is going to be done and whatnot? And how do I, making sure that my mom was always kept happy, as happy as we can possibly make her. So that's, I could relate to the whole being more grown up than other kids my age. And so I kind of was like, oh, okay, okay. So I read that book, and I got caught up in it after I put the kids to bed that night. And I think by that point I was into chapter 7 or 8, and I got the kids tucked in that night. And I'm not even kidding. I stayed up the rest of the night and finished the entire book. Once I got into chapter 8 and stuff, I could not put the book down. I had to know what the heck was happening. I had to know where is this going to go and whatnot. And just like thinking through like all the repercussions of her decisions and what this was going to cause for her life and for her dad, because you really start to get attached to Charlie in the books. They don't make it that easy in the movies, but in the books, you start to really see the relationship between Bella and Charlie, and you really get to see like the caregiver that she is in the books. They don't even touch on that in the movies. The fact that she cooks dinner every night for Charlie. They never go to the diner to eat other than graduation night. It's the only time Charlie and Bella go out to eat, and it's at the diner. It's actually at the like the golf club type place. And then my friend bought me the next book. Like she bought me the book before she actually bought it pre-order. So then the next book came out and I was like, okay, I gotta read this. And reading book 2, I'm glad that they have book 2. I mean, it really shows the dynamic of where she was mentally. And it gives you the growth and the starting growth of their relationship between her and Jacob Black and how important he is to her. Not in a relationship way, like she has no romantic interest in Jacob Black. She starts to like consider that maybe it's kind of the only thing she's gonna have, and that it's better to be with somebody that you trust and that you have a connection with other than just kind of being lonely the rest of your life. She kind of starts to consider that. Then of course crap hits the fan. So I read the whole saga multiple times. And so when she came out with The Host, very, very different, like very different. Whoop, I mean, I'm talking, we got this, and then she went completely left turn or right turn or whatever. And I was like, this is so sci-fi. It's not even close to Twilight. Like, this isn't supernatural. This is sci-fi. She went completely in a different direction with that book. And I kind of was hoping she was going to write another one to that saga or to that series, like that book, because there's no series. I don't know why I was going to say series. There's nothing else. She just wrote the Host. And so I was really saddened when she didn't do another book to continue that story, because I would have loved to have seen the dynamic of Melanie and Wanderer once they were separated. But she never continued it. Sorry, spoiler if you've never read the book. But I would have loved to have seen like where that was going to go, like how they were going to build that connection and whatnot. Like, were they going to continue as like friends in some way? Like, we need to know the dynamic, how the dynamic shifted and changed. But we never get that. We kind of get left at a like a hanging point. Like she literally leaves you it's either one of two things. One, this is how their life is from now on, or two, there's still more story to be told. So it felt to me more like she left you hanging. Like there's still more to come. Some people were like, no, she ended it with, this is how their life will continue from now on. They're going to do this thing from now on. But that still leaves so much in the air. And then she came out with another book in 2016. Now, I bought the book and then I started to read it. And like when I like an author, a lot of times I don't read the synopsis thing for the book because I don't want to really give anything away. So I decided I'm just going to buy the book. It's called The Chemist. Now, I figured it had something to do with chemistry and medicine and maybe some true crime, something like that. No, nope. It's kind of like a secret agent type thing, like CIA, Black Ops type book. Okay. So I get into like the first chapter of it and I was just like, oh my gosh. So I was like, I can't physically read this. Like, I'm just not gonna be able to physically read this because it's not my cup of tea. I'm not into secret agent type stuff. CSI, not CSI, but like Secret Service, all that kind of stuff, right? I was like, maybe. So I got the audiobook. Couldn't get through the book. Like I wanted to read it and I started reading it. I kind of got agitated with it and was just like, okay, I want to know the story now because I'd already gotten into a beginning of it and I want to know what happens to this girl. And so I got the book on Audible and I listened to it. Really good book. So Stephanie Meyer again, doing a fantastic job. So she has a knack. Now, when I went back through and was reading some information, she didn't write The Chemist completely on her own. Now she is the writer. She, however, had a lot of help with bouncing ideas off and getting information to make this work. And here's what I love about Stephanie Meyer and the way she writes. One, she is a Mormon, as far as I remember. So that being said, when she writes, instead of writing in what the character's explicit words are, the expletives, she says in the book, he came out with some very colorful words in between the regular, like in between yelling at me and regular English. He also threw in some very colorful words. So she lets you know that there are curse words being said, but she never says the curse words. She just says colorful words. I love that because it makes it so that if you have a young audience, right? So let's say you have your 12 or 13-year-old at home. Now, I would never let my 12-year-old read The Chemist. I may not even let my 13-year-old. Probably make them wait till they're like 15 to read The Chemist because there's quite a bit of violence in that book. But like Twilight, the first Twilight book, my 13-year-old, I would see being able to read that without any problem. Because it's very PG. I think all the books pretty much are PG. There's a moment in Eclipse that I might have to like explain to like my child, like if I had a child that young, at 13 or 14 years old. There's a part in Eclipse where Bella and Edward have a moment together and it gets a little saucy for a moment, just a little bit heated between the two of them. But there's no massive description, but it hints at a progression towards that, into that area. So kids might end up with questions. So just be, if you're going to let your kids read it, 13, I think is fine to read those books. But Breaking Dawn, there is a very, there's a very graphically described scene when the baby part happens. I'm not talking about the baby making. That they really, really did that so tastefully. it's when the baby part happens. And so if you have never seen Twilight, or you've never read Twilight or seen the Breaking Dawn movies, y'all, you've missed the train. So if I spoil anything for you, it's your own fault. I mean, they've been out for years at this point. 2012 was when the movies were released. So we're coming up on 10 years since the last movie was released. So, oh, I've got a customer. Hold on. Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you guys today?
Good, thank you.
All right. What are we looking to get today?
I need another little charger.
A charger. You bet. Do you need?
Oh.
You need the charger. You need the battery.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the battery, right? Not this.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
this piece.
Yeah, correct.
So you don't need just this. You need the
Correct.
actual
I need
whole
the
thing.
actual.
Okay, so you're going to need the whole thing. So these are all the colors
Do
we
you have
have.
smaller ones?
These are all we have. These are the skinniest and smallest, and these are adjustable. Otherwise, you're going for one of our big poppers here, which are twice as wide as those. Now, if you want something even tinier, you might have to go over to Midtown Vape, right here by Safeway. You go up.
Every time we go there,
McCullough.
they tell me come here.
Yeah, because these are the only batteries we carry. We don't have anything smaller. They'd be the only place that would have smaller batteries.
Okay.
So if they don't have anything smaller, I don't know what to tell you.
Gotcha.
Not something that's going to stand out. So either white, black, or silver.
I don't see any of those.
Well, there's white one right here.
Silver's fine.
All right.
Yep.
So silver.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you look at the colors here, that
Oh, I'm not that smart. Jeez.
That's too easy. I thought would have made
Like
sense.
stand up. That's why I said, oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh.
if you like the glass,
So what are you looking for?
I just need a pipe.
Like a hand pipe?
Yeah.
here's some little ones.
What is she?
Yeah, because he's got one that we set it down and tips over.
Okay, so you need something with a flat bottom so that it doesn't keep rolling
These
over.
are so big.
Yeah, actually, I think that's solid.
Well, we have these little guys down here.
Yeah, one's right next to her.
Okay, so wait, here we go. Right, we've got some medium ones right here. This is the top cabinet.
Oh, there's the skinny one up there.
So we have, these guys are all chillums. I'm pretty sure he's not looking for a chill.
What's it called?
It's where you light it like a cigarette. So you put your product here and then. But these are all of our medium types here. So we have these guys.
Is it Hello Kitty one?
There's some stickers on the bottom. So of course they're gonna stand because there's a flat sticker on the bottom.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if they seem pretty flat on the bottom here. So. Those guys are 12 inches. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And just in.
Yes.
You're my very first customer today.
Oh, wow, what time you open?
10. 10. All right, 16.
Oh, hey there.
Just make sure you charge it all the way before you use it.
Okay.
So don't turn it on until you charge it. Because if you don't, it'll set its memory at 40% charge.
Oh.
Because they're at 40% right now when they ship it, so that you don't have battery usage. And so most people make the mistake of taking it, going into your car, turn it on, connect the thing, and start using it right away. And you set its charge memory. Yeah. So make sure you charge it. It takes like 20 minutes to fully charge it, and
Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a great day.
You too. Hi there. I can't have you taking pictures though, honey.
I'm not.
Okay, just making sure.
Just looking at it, she should just make it. I'm on the phone right
You looking to get a tapestry?
now. Yeah, I just was gonna come in earlier, you guys are still closed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was thinking about it. It's kind of my intention today.
And we have more of the other designs right here.
Oh, there's more?
So these
Oh,
guys
very
are
cool.
here. And they are 3D, so I have 3D glasses that go with them. So if you want to see what they look like, we have a set of 3D glasses right there. That you can check these out with those on.
Sweet, thank you.
See which ones you like.
Boo, B-O-O, boo. Those? You just sent me a picture. Yeah. Okay. The hair is in my. This one, you have all of these?
No, if you want it, I take it down for
Oh,
you.
sure, yeah, I would like.
You want that one there?
Yeah, they're bars. They're cookbooks. There's peach ice, strawberry milkshake, watermelon, kiwi, ice, mamba, watermelon, kiwi, fruit ice. It's cool, yes. We still have some. The right? You're sick. We just folded it. Oh,
I
okay,
just-
gotcha.
Yeah. They're the ones that have the, yeah, it has like your crutches. Yeah. So one of those.
Actually, no.
Yeah, because I can't do 100s. So I'll need your ID for that. Did you need a receipt? And then you have your pretty glasses in there.
Awesome, thanks so much. Yeah, you're very good.
You as well. Nice out there.
Beautiful. I didn't know it was right or anything like that.
There's a skating event, like a
Skateboarding?
Mhm.
Oh.
yeah. Today's
okay.
the finals. Yesterday was all the preliminaries.
Well, thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right. I don't even know if anybody's here. From what it looks like, we're at 0. But the chemist, though, you guys, it's very dark. But here's the funny part. I started listening to it. And right at the start, she ends up using a name for the character. And I about freaking come unglued because I was like, one, I haven't listened to this book. I just listened to this book recently. I hadn't listened to it previously because I couldn't get past like the first chapter. It was just like I couldn't do it. It was just I knew it was this secret ops type crap. And I was just like, I'm not interested. But then when I start listening to the book and I'm paying attention, she uses a name in the book. I'm not going to say what it is. And I'm like, wait, that's the name of my character in my book. Different last name type situation, different whatever. Different situation altogether. Like the story is a completely different type of story. My book has nothing to do with being a secret agent or black ops or secret service or any of that stuff. CIA type crap. So I was like, oh my God, this sounds like something familiar. There's a familiar undertone. So I got a little irritated. But it's not. It's not the same thing. So thank goodness. Hold on. I got another people. Hi there.
I don't know.
What are we getting today?
We are getting your, oh no,
No, which one do you want? We have
Gold.
2. Yeah, the big.
big one, yeah.
Yep.
And 3 boxes of the Zen King size. That's it. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you today?
Great.
All right, $33.95.
Do you see anything that you want? No.
605 is your change.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Big day.
You as well.
Okay.
It's nice out there. Enjoy that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't worry.
There's a big skating event going on. A skateboarding
Oh.
event. Yeah, today's the finals.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday was all the semifinals and like preliminary skateboarding,
Skateboarding.
Yeah.
Finals.
We got just about here, all the way up to the
Yep.
cement walk off.
Oh yeah. They got a bunch of like vendors, all that stuff coming in for the events today.
They got You know, when you got 100 people in a hurry. And,
Oh, I know, right?
They're crazy. All right, see you later, dear.
Take it easy.
You too.
What I was saying is, I started listening and I got in, like, not even another chapter out, and just the character's name again. So I was like, okay, because I started to get panicked because I was like, wait, what if she holds this name for the rest of the book? Then it's going to really irritate me because now because I'm still working on mine. Mine's not finished yet. I still have a few more chapters left to write. And I was like, no, come on. You cannot have the same name in your book as the name that I picked for my character. Like, you just can't. And so I started to get like really panicky. And I'm like, because if people hear my book, they're going to think I stole the name like usage from Stephanie Meyer. But then my daughter's like, Sarah's all, Mom, many people write books using that name. So she's right. There's other characters out. Like, there's other books out there that use that name for their character. So, which is fine. But I was just like, people who know me know that I have a huge obsession with the Twilight Saga, the books, and the fact that Stephanie Meyer writes them. Yeah. Because at first when I started listening to it, I was like, it has that same undertone, like needing to hide your identity and whatnot, but it's for a whole different set of reasons. And the reasons for my book and what my character's story is so off the beaten path. Oh yeah, and yesterday I emailed myself my rough draft of where I'm at so far. So that way, heaven forbid something stupid happens with this computer, I have my story emailed to myself. And I even put it on a SD card. That's the word I was looking for. I was like, what's the word I'm looking for? People are still braving to come in here with all the roads blocked. You have to like drive through our parking lot to get there. Well, hi, hon. What are we getting today?
you know, I take your days off.
I work 4 days a week. Yeah, Thursday through Sunday.
How much?
They are $39.95. All right, $42.99. Thank you. You too. Hi there. All right, they're right here. You can try D on you first. There you go. Go right ahead. Pick out which one you love. $5.33. I'll be trading. There's a skateboarding event going on.
Oh.
Yesterday was all preliminary season. Oh, you too. Got another one. Fix the dust. Hey, hey. Sorry. And another one, going and another one bites the dust. Yep, honey, you gotta wait a minute. Going to deter our customers from coming in today. It's all the traffic they have to try to back in and out of. Nah, come on. Here's what I'm going to ask you guys, because I have no idea. Like, I don't know what's happening with the or whatever, if anybody's even in here. So in the comments section, I want you guys to tell me some of your favorite books, and I'll see if I've read them, because I've read a lot. So you guys have to tell me if you guys have read them. One of the other series that I've read is Frozen, Heart of Dread, and such a good series so far. But yeah, I need to get the next book, because I would love to listen to it, because listening to that book is easier than trying to read that book, because there is two perspectives happening. And it goes like, no, there was a third perspective at one point, but it's usually just the two people, and the chapters switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so when you're reading it, like when you are personally reading it, it kind of, you're jumping back and forth. It's kind of like what happened with Allegiant from the Divergent series. That book made me mad, by the way. I waited a whole year for that book to be released, to be thoroughly disappointed in the final book. It was like the writer, I think it's Veronica Roth. It's almost like she just kind of got tired of the story and the characters, and just kind of threw something together. And it just, like, she had such a good buildup and such a good strong base, like from like Divergent and Insurgent were so good. And then Allegiant came out, and it was kind of like, it just fell flat. So I think that's why they stopped the movies when the Allegiant movie came out. I think they did 3 movies, didn't they? I think so. But when they did the final movie, they ended it how the book should have ended, which I liked. So they didn't screw it all up like the writer did. That's the first time I think where I watched a movie from the series, because Shailene Woodley plays Triss from the books, and like really, really, really enjoyed the movies in compare. Like the first 2 books, I really loved the books. There was so much in the books. They played into that in the movies pretty darn close. Like they did pretty damn good in the movies. But for the first time ever where I read a book and then watched them make a movie out of said book, and the movie was better done than the book itself. Like I said, because the book itself just fell flat. Like it was like one of the biggest disappointments. I mean, like as soon as the book's pre-order date came out, I immediately pre-ordered it. I was like, I want this because I want to know the rest of this story. You can't just stop at Insurgent. You really do need to, like, there needs to be a continuation. There needs to be a finalization, a wrap up of what the heck is going on. And I mean, they do give you some information in Allegiant, but there's just this, it like deadpans out, right? Like the ending to it in the book was a miscarriage of justice in writing and pulling these characters to a finalization in the book, to wrapping things up. And she left so much unanswered. Like there's nothing worse than having a writer who writes something and builds up all this information from book 1 and book 2, and has all these things on the plate that need answers, right? That she builds you into this stuff. Why give you that information if there's not going to be an answer for it? Gives you all this information, builds you up to this stuff, and then writes the 3rd book, the final book to the series, and does a certain thing in the book. I won't say what it is. If you've never read, I'll give people time to still read those books. If you've never read those books, but you've watched the movies. The movie Allegiant and the book Allegiant are very different. They did some very different things between the two. They follow the main storyline, but where they end, the way they end it in the movies is how it should have ended. Because I thought at first when they ended the first movie, when they ended that movie, I was like, oh, they're going to break this into 2 parts. They did not. And I'm so glad they didn't, because where they ended it is how it should have ended in the book, because it would have made way more sense. And in the movie, they answered off a bunch of the questions and checkmarked a bunch of the stuff that never got answered in the book. So they did better because they gave you answers that were still hanging in the air from the books. Like the books just left you like going, well, wait, what about this part? Well, how come they didn't do this? Well, wait a minute. I didn't get an answer for why this was happening. But in the movie, they answered that. So I was like, oh, okay. So we do have some answers. We had some closure. And why do I have this wicked wrinkle in my shirt? What? That's probably from my seatbelt riding to work. So annoying. Okay, now I got to figure out what I'm also going to do with myself tomorrow for Halloween. I might. I don't know. I have a really cool cape and stuff at the house. I might decide to do something, or not a cape, a cloak. It's a cloak because it's got the hood and stuff. I think I might do something with that. I don't have my extensions anymore because when we put everything in storage, my extensions got ruined by a thing I did not know was in the bathroom thing, the bathroom kit where I had my extensions in. And the thing exploded and then dried on my extensions and could not be taken off. Because at this point, my hair is now officially long enough that I could put my extensions in and blend them into my hair. But I don't have them anymore. And so, yeah, I thought about just ordering a wig. But I have found that with wigs, I have a lot of issues with breaking out and itching. So it would have been nice to be able to put a wig on because my hair is short. So I could easily put a wig on without worrying about it interfering in my actual hair. But yeah. So that would have been cool to get something like that to have like lengthy long hair on for my Halloween costume. But I don't have that, so I can't really do that. And then the costume I wanted to do and that we had planned doing, here's the thing. We had planned to do the Sanderson Sisters. All right. So it was going to be me, Sarah, and Tatum. We were going to do the Sanderson Sisters for Halloween. And we were all going to be here at the shop. Then Sarah got the job babysitting. And we were like, okay, cool. So we decided not to order the costumes, which would have gotten here by yesterday if we'd ordered them. So we decided not to order them because it wouldn't make sense since Sarah wasn't going to be able to join us and be with us and she was going to be babysitting. So we're like, okay, so that wouldn't make sense. Then she gets a call and she's not going to have to babysit. So now we have no costumes and no idea now what to do because we decided not to order the costumes. And so now it's too late because tomorrow is Halloween. So now we have no costumes and no idea what to do with ourselves for tomorrow because we put off ordering our costumes. We decided don't spend the money because we weren't going to have the day together. And I'm here all day. So by the time I get home, it's 10 o'clock at night. So we're not going to be doing any kind of trick-or-treating or handing out candy at the house because one, nobody comes up there. It's literally out of the way of everything. Two, it's an entirely elderly neighborhood. So there's no children around. So nobody's coming up there to go trick-or-treating. And three, it'll be too late. So it'll be late at night. So I'm handing candy out here to our customers, but there's no children that come in here because you can't come in here if you're under 18 anyway. So slightly irked because it would have been really cool because Sarah was going to come up here with us. But then now she wasn't going to because, of course, everything's going on. And now she's actually free Sunday. So it's like, so a little irritation. So now we have to figure out what I'm going to dress up as tomorrow. I'm not sure if Tatum's even going to dress up, but I know I want to. because I want to be able to be involved with the people. And Tatum's going to leave early anyway because she's got a little 2-year-old, so she's going to take him trick or treating. So she's going to leave here at 5:30, so she can get home because she's much closer to here than I am. She's like less than 45 minutes away, so she's able to get home and get out and do stuff with him before it gets dark out. But for me, it's a 2-hour drive home. So, oh my God, there's so much traffic. The fact that they're diverting everybody right through our parking lot is going to make it like it's, yeah. Hi, Leah. So, yeah, so in the comments, guys, I want to know what are some of your favorite books that you like reading? And that dude just cut right through the center of all that traffic. He almost got hit. Yep. But I want to know some of your guys' favorite books because I want to see if there's anything that other people have been reading that I haven't read. Now, here's the other thing. I want to know your favorite books, but for me, I am super into things like Priscilla. Hi. I'm really into things like Anne Rice, like deep, darker, like written stuff. Hey, Leah. I said hi. I see you. So I'm into more like, I guess you say vampire novels, vampire story type, not the Vampire Diaries, by the way. Absolutely not. And this chair is obnoxious. I can't move this chair. Like vampire, like not Vampire Diaries, Anne Rice type vampires. And then I did like the Twilight Saga, that's like one of my favorites. My favorite book, I guess you'd say the one book that I really, really love. And the movie did so good. They did so good. They did miss a shit ton of stuff out of it because there are moments that happen in the book that just never happen in the movie. But The Haunting of Hill House. Now, the movie's name is called The Haunting, but there is a movie out there called The Haunting of Hill House. And that movie is not the same thing as the book, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley. Oh gosh, I'm so bad at that. That's so bad. Hold on. I think it's Shirley Jackson. I don't know why my phone has not been letting me know that I'm getting messages. But I think it's Shirley Jackson. If I'm correct, it's Shirley Jackson. Okay, hold on thing. You got it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's see here. My library. It's this one. I know, but I need the cover. Nope. Okay, you have to let me read the page. Can I please go to Okay. Yeah, Shirley Jackson. I was right. Aha. Okay. So, yes, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, because I have it on my Kindle. That is literally a book that I will read over and over and over and over and over again because it's so creepy. And I like that, like, make your skin crawl, creep you out, what the heck is going on kind of thing. I love that book. Here comes the kids. The big parade is going on right now. I know you guys can't hear it. There's a marching band going on. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, they're marching. There's so many people outside right now. Chris! You guys, it has taken me an hour and 20 minutes to eat this sandwich. I'm going to guess you were going to say, how are you? I'm good. I'm literally squeezing my leg to hold the chair from moving because every time I move, this chair is obnoxious. Makes crazy sounds. Really good. Really good. Sarah can officially feel the baby moving. My chair keeps making it sound like I'm farting or something. It's cracking me up. If I fart, I'll tell you. No shame, everybody does. What? How did I get that on me? No. But did you? Do tell, Chris. Do tell. So, Sarah feels the baby kicking now, or moving, I should say. And we got to hear him have the hiccups for the first time last night. Like full-on hiccups. He had like 16 hiccups in a row. It was the cutest thing in the world. And Sarah like fought back crying, like sob crying. She just had tears just rolling down her face. Because like that's a huge step. Like that's one of the things babies get is the hiccups, and it's them building the diaphragm muscle, which is going to help in their ability to breathe and expand the rib cage. That muscle is very important. That diaphragm muscle is really, really important. Squishy can now hear inside, so he can hear like Sarah's heartbeat, her digestive sounds when she's eating, when she's. You got your brown belt? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Congratulations, man. I don't know why I always find it so funny hearing the high school kids when they're doing marching band. It just brings back so many memories. Well, yeah. So that's a huge things coming. And then on Monday, we get to see Squishy. Please, nobody fight me. Right. Right. So, yeah, I'm so like just watching Sarah be in awe of all the things that are coming now. Like she never got to experience this with Pipper Oakley or what she calls him Okie. With Pipper Oakie, she didn't get to. Good Lord, lady, she just like slammed into the curb. What in the world? Just come through my store, why don't you? She ain't even coming here either. She just parked and like she came up on the sidewalk, like she came right up over the parking curb thing. Yo, relax, lady, relax. She wasn't even looking. She just parked, slammed it into there, like jumped out of the car really fast, slammed her door, locked it, and ran down the sidewalk that way. Tatum. But yeah, so just it's so exciting watching Sarah be so excited as all these new stages happen and all these new things that she gets to feel and be a part of with this baby. The bonding time that you get while you're pregnant is beyond measure. What are your 5 rules? I want to hear your 5 rules. So, but I also want to know people's favorite books. So, I mean, and you can say, hey, I'm not a book reader. Or if there's a book that you've heard by somebody, like somebody else has read to you, I want to know. Because I love to read. I love reading, especially if I can read out loud. So if I can find a spot where I can just sit and read out loud, I do it. How did I get makeup to the side of my eye? I don't even put makeup on the outside. Okay. This one doesn't have it. No, it was just this one. Got it to the outside. But yeah, I want to know your guys' favorite books. Everybody's out there in the parking lot yelling. So much chaos out there. Maybe after the parade dies down and the event stuff moves further over, because it's going to be on that side. Once the parade moves everybody down, because it's like the kickoff of the day. It's the big kickoff of the event starting. Everything started at 11. So the parade kicked off at 11. And it'll march it down to the pointing back here, but that direction is the lake. And all the event stuff is going to be down at the big area down here by the lake. The lake will be like the big backdrop to the filming crews that are going to film the skateboarding event. There's so many people outside. She is pissed because now she's back. So she ran down to Doritos. I think she's just pissed because everything is just packed with people. She parked all the way over here because Doritos is that way, and it's full of patrons. There's people, pedestrians everywhere outside right now. Seek protection of character. Endeavor to excel. Respect others. Be faithful and refrain from violent behavior. Those are really good things to live by, actually. Those are really good rules. They're really good rules. I love that. Yep. Especially respecting others and being faithful and refraining from violence. I think those are seriously good things. Always, everybody should always, that should be everybody's rule, endeavor to excel. Always be pushing yourself to be more than where you're at. Don't be happy just sitting still. Always be pushing to better yourself. Yeah. Well, hopefully he's able to circle back around. One of my regulars, he can't get into the parking space, so he's going to probably go around the building and come back around. I really hope, because of the way this traffic is going out here, you guys, I really hope someone doesn't hit the back end of my car. Because people are trying to go around each other. There's only enough room for 2 cars right there going side by side. Why did they divert people through here? Perfection of character? Yeah, I kind of figured that that's what you meant. Because the parade is turning off on the main, this big road in front. So they're diverting traffic before that road. So the only way to divert them, because it's the only way to turn between the stop sign down there and this next stop sign, is through this parking lot, because this parking lot cuts through onto and goes out and back onto the other big main road, which is McCulloch. So, oh my God, everybody's honking. The big floats are turning the corner. Yep, there they go. Coming back around. Wow, they did a great job on those. Hey, I get to see the parade and I'm not even out there. Oh wow, there goes everybody carrying big signs and stuff. Oh, I love listening to the high school band drums. But yeah, so I don't know how many of you are in here because my number count thing is never correct. So a lot of times it'll say 0, but then there'll be people in chatting. So like right now, I know Chris is here, and I'm talking with Chris, and he's typing, and it still says 0 for me. So, but I don't know how many of you are in here, but I want to know your favorite books. So I want to know like your favorite book or books, but preferably what's your favorite book? Because I know for me, I have several books that are like top ones I'm going to read, but I have a favorite book that I could sit down and probably read over and over again. Whoa. That is so big. They used a big pontoon boat as their float for the parade. That is crazy cool. They're getting everybody lined up. The parade is about to kick off. Everybody's getting into position. Like all these people are like running this way right now with like big signs and things to hold out that they're going to hold out while they're out here on the sidewalk as the parade makes its way all the way down by the lake. That's super cool actually. But yeah, so right now I am listening to The Chemist. I have not finished the book yet. I still have like 6 hours left of it. Really, stomach? I just fed you. That was the longest beer I've ever heard. So yeah. But I have quite a few like books that I like to read. That I keep on my Kindle. So there's a set that I read recently. No, my library. So The Hunger Games, really good series. Hold on. She said, obviously you're open to answer the phone. She goes, so that wouldn't need to ask you that question. Is the parade over? I was like, nope. It's just coming in front of us. She's like, all the way down there? And I was like, yeah, we're blocked off all the way to Lake Havasu Avenue. She said, all right, well, they've done it again the same way they used to do it. Everybody's being diverted off of Mesquite into our parking lot and then has to come back out and around onto Mesquite again through the other exit because you can't keep going this way because that whole thing's blocked off for all the parade activity. So, because the parade's coming down McCulloch and it's going to turn, it's turning right here in front of us on what is this? Coral? I think is what it's called. I don't freaking know what the cross street is right there. And wrapping out and around and going back up Mesquite. So I love that these people think they're going to keep going that way. They can't. They're being stopped right here. Y'all are, people are special. Okay, so The Hunger Games, really good series. trilogy. It's a trilogy. Really good. I really wish. What is that one? Oh, I never even read that. I don't even know. I think that was a book that was gifted to me. I never read it. I am reading The Chemist right now. Let's see here. What else do I have on here? One of the ones that I just never got through because it was just too teenager for me was Zoe Suggs' Girl Online. I just never really finished it. Of course, Midnight Sun. You guys, I don't know, Stephanie Meyer. If you ever actually see this, because she never will, but still, could you write the other books from Edward's perspective too? Like any of the stuff that really has like a big play of Edward's perspective, because I'd really like to hear that. I mean, all of them, to be quite honest. I want to know. I know it'll be a really dark angled book, but I would love to hear New Moon from Edward's perspective. Because here's the thing. Though we know from a couple of statements that Edward makes from Bella's perspective in New Moon, some of the things, and then Alice says something in there about where Edward has been. Someone made a really good point about Bella's like the way Bella would hear him and when she was doing something reckless. There was only one catch to his theory. His theory was that Edward knew that he was staying at a distance and watching her. I knew that was going to happen. Oh wow. That Edward was watching her the whole time. However, when Bella jumps off the cliff to cliff dive, she wasn't trying to kill herself. I'm pretty sure Edward would not have let that happen. He would have come and gotten her. And because Alice couldn't see what happened after she jumped because she can't see past the wolves, made it very clear Edward wasn't around. Because if Edward was around, one, he would never, ever have let her be in danger from Laurent. So he stayed back. Also, he didn't know about the wolves. So that's the thing. One moment. Well, hello there. You made it in.
Traffic. Two good stuff gold.
We only have one left. I have one left. I know they cleaned us out. All right. I know, right?
What's the silver?
Silver is like your ultralight. It's like your light, and this would be like your ultralight.
Try not to make a trip every week over that.
I know, right? And I'll pick up my delivery tonight, delivered by tomorrow.
I'll be.
We have it, the light in the blue for Golden Valley, but a lot of people prefer this over this because this is a lot more tinier, broken down pieces, whereas this is a little bit.
Like chunky. You try a silver too.
All right.
Just,
All right. You need tubes or papers?
we had 2 boxes of Zen hundreds reds.
100 reds. Hi. All right, 54.98.
speak today. That's yours back. And that's for you. Thank you. You have a fantastic day. Hi there. Hello. What are we looking to get today?
I'm looking for a small, like, one hair pipe to fit in one of these.
Let's look at it.
I'm just like,
Come on up.
but I want to buy at least 10 to 15 because I'm gonna give them all.
Okay, so we have these little guys here. So like these guys are $12. He said they're 15. We got these little guys. And then we also have over here more like chillum style. So they wouldn't be like a pipe that, like these guys have massive holes, otherwise they would be in my cabin. But the holes are huge and the holes are like, so there's like nothing.
And I saw these on another store for $5.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even think we need to sell them. They're not worth it. But we also have chillums. So you've got like these little chillums. So you know, you put your product in there and then you light it like a cigarette and smoke it. And they, oh yeah, they go with, they're tiny.
Sideways.
And then we do have other ones that are not glass, but we have like your throwback,
Oh, yeah.
things like your one hitters. So you've got like your sneak a toe, you've got these guys, you've got little stone ones, which those are so happy.
Yeah, I found a couple, I don't like another, so I'm
Yeah.
shopping. Just checking out those, but. There was this one, like, one of my friends, she had this, it was a cute little, I mean, it fit perfect.
Yeah.
But her bowl was really big, actually. It was,
Right,
like,
and that's
really-
what I keep telling my pops, he needs the other ones that are small, but with a large bowl.
Yes.
We have like silicone ones too, but they're little one hitters. I don't know if that would work. Come around on that side.
Okay.
So we have like these little guys. So we got like these little things like this. We got like donuts. And they're little keychains, but you can take that part off and just have just a little pipe to throw in the back.
Oh, got it.
So they're little one hitters,
Yeah,
made to be like a keychain, but then you still have access to your little pipe.
right.
Yeah, otherwise I don't think we have anything smaller that would fit in there other than like those little ones in that bucket.
Okay, okay.
I know, right? I love Luigi.
yeah.
Luigi, and we've got, what do you call her?
Yeah.
We got Pickle Ricks down at the bottom
Oh, how funny.
from Rick and Morty.
That's funny. I just hear them. I got one of these not too long ago, and my daughter took it from me. She's like, "Can I borrow a pipe?" And then I've never seen it again. She went back to
She
California,
said-
and
she
so I was like,
taking this.
"See ya." So, what are these? Are these?
Those are
Those
just,
aren't pipes.
those are, no, those are not pipes. Those are just the little mouthpieces for,
Oh,
like the
okay.
chambers for,
Okay.
what do you call it, vape pens?
The vape pens.
Yeah, like the old style cartridges.
Okay.
Like, you know, back in the, when they first came out with vape pens and people had like the little cartridges
Right.
that you would screw on and you put your oil in and then you have a little top.
Got it.
It's those replacement pieces. Somebody thought they were hookah mouthpieces. I was like, not even close.
And these are just tops for.
These are just
umbrellas?
water pipes. Water pipes. These are just your holes for your water pipes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a wine stopper.
Oh, and it says right there, wine stopper. See, and hers was actually made right from some guy was blowing glass somewhere. And she was out, and he made it right there for her. So maybe that's why hers
Was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was able to tell exactly what
Yeah.
she wanted.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep looking.
All right.
They're gonna be Christmas gifts, so I just figured I have time now.
All right. God, there's so many people.
There, yeah, the big parade. Big parade out there.
Oh, yeah. What are they staging right here? Or?
No, I think it's done. That's the whole.
That's
they're
the area
finished.
where they're
That's-
finished.
They're finished.
Okay, that's what I
exactly.
heard because everybody's down there.
Yeah, like everybody.
I heard the band earlier.
Yeah.
That's funny.
My daughter got me one with a frog on it.
Oh yeah, she probably got that here since we had those here.
Yeah, it was
Those green with the frog on it.
cutest freaking pipe ever, and she almost took it from me again. That one also, I said, no, how did you take that stuff?
Right.
You used me as a gift, woman.
I know, right? She's like, well, I bought it. It's like, no, that's not how that works.